clearly ruling here that Trump did not clear the bar for an emergency that he would have to clear in order to invoke emergency powers. The court ruling that trade deficits do not constitute an emergency, and as such, the tariffs are not legally enforceable, or the bulk of these tariffs are not legally enforceable. Because here's a caveat: the tariffs affected by the ruling are the tariffs with which Trump used this Emergency Powers Act in order to invoke them. So what are those tariffs? Those tariffs are the 30% tariffs that Trump has imposed on Chinese goods, the 25% tariff on some of the goods from Mexico and Canada, as well as this 10% universal baseline tariff that he imposed on most of the U.S.'s trading partners. What is not affected by this ruling are the 25% tariffs on foreign-made cars, on auto parts, on steel and aluminum. So the court has now given the Trump administration 10 days in order to complete the process of halting these tariffs. Now, how exactly that will look like, well, that part still remains unclear.
And those tariffs are so key to the deals Trump is trying to get from various countries. So what's next, Janelle?
Indeed. So the Trump administration quite predictably reacted negatively to this ruling, with one White House spokesman saying it's not for unelected judges to decide how to properly address a national emergency. As you said, the Justice Department is already looking into an appeal of this ruling. As such, this could go all the way to the Supreme Court. But you're right to point this out. It leaves us with many unanswered questions, like how will the trade negotiations that the U.S. is holding with other countries proceed from here? Remember, the whole point of these talks was that the U.S. wanted to reshape its trading relationship with most of its trading partners around the world, using the tariffs as leverage. If the tariffs are off the table, what will then be the focus of these talks if they do still end up proceeding with these talks? Another open question that comes to mind is what happens to the tariffs that have already been paid out? Is there a way for the affected parties to recover those costs? So this ruling does lend a bit of legal clarity to this tariff question, but I think there is still plenty of uncertainty ahead for consumers, business owners, the U.S.'s trading partners, although I think many of them will think of this as a step in the right direction.